And what's going to happen is the side cones are worth 1 point each, and the back cone is worth 3. So the attacker is going to try and make a movement to either there, in here, or try and beat the player to get to here. Hi, I'm James. I'm the Regional PE Officer for the East Midlands. This session today is called Diamond Duel. We've used it for in possession and out of possession. Today I'm going to be focusing on the out of possession, which is going to be pressing. I'm going to be working with foundation phase, mainly 8 to 11-year-old players, and it's going to be outdoor, but it could be used for indoor as well. We're going to get the players to focus on how they close their opposition down and force them into a certain direction that they want. And we're also going to look at, when we later on bring in their teammates, how they cover each other and provide that safety net in case they get beat. So I always start with an activation game. So as the players are arriving, because they don't all arrive on time, what we're going to do is, they know the setup, but it's very easy to kind of set them up themselves. So what they do as they arrive, I ask them to get 4 cones, and what they do is they'll plate that and they'll make a diamond in a space. Now usually I've shown them the diamond already, so they get an idea of the space that's required, and if I need to I can walk around and just adjust, but it's really just the kids can go in and start to set that up. And as the kids arrive, what they do is they start with 1 player on each side of the diamond, like that, and as more players arrive, they can just join on each side, like that. And the activation bit starts without a ball. So what's going to happen is one side will be known as the attacking team, and the other side will be known as the defending team. And the defending team always goes off the movement of the attackers. So as soon as they've moved into the game, the defender can also enter. And what's going to happen is the side cones are worth 1 point each, and the back cone is worth 3. So the attacker is going to try and make a movement to either there, in here, or try and beat the player to get to here. So what ends up happening is as they enter, the pressing player now has to go and try and close them down as quick as they can, and tag them. As soon as they're tagged, the game ends. This player would then join that side, this player would join that side, and then immediately the other 2 come straight in. Once all my players have arrived, what I might get them to do is, you might have multiple diamonds set up in your space. So more, because I'm conscious I do not want loads of queuing. This game is short, quick, fast, so a little bit of a queue is all right to give them a bit of a breather, but as more and more of my players arrive, you get the same setup, like that, and they're all playing the same game. So you've got multiple games going on in the space that you're working in. So the way we then, once everybody's here, I'll bring the group in and I'll talk to them about what we're working on, and then we'll add the football in. So I always encourage the defending team to start with the ball, and what they're going to do is they're going to play the ball in to the attacker, and as soon as the attacker's taken a touch, that player comes in, and we're going to now work on specifically how do they close them down. Can they force them to the sides, either off the pitch or to the 1-pointers, or even better, steal the ball back. The main aim is to try and keep them away from the 3-pointers here. We don't want them getting the maximum scores. If they steal the ball, they can immediately try and score one of the 1-pointers or the 3-pointers themselves. And again, once the game is over or it's been tackled, they join their new lines and we start again. The beauty of this game is, because they're all operating in small groups, I can progress the session at different rates for the needs of different groups. So, for example, in here they might be playing the 1v1s. In this group here, just bring a ball in, what might happen is, if you have a few more in the line, when they play in, you might actually encourage a 2v2. And they can come in. And this is when you can then bring in the secondary objective around, okay, if one player is pressing the ball and trying to show them away from the 3 points, the other player can just fill in behind, be that safety net in case they get beat, but also, if they make a pass, they're in a position as well to press, and we can just get that safety net again, like that. If you have goalkeepers in the session, the simple way of bringing them into it is if you just have the starting point on the side like this. If you have two goalkeepers, you can make mini goals in here and in here. And the goalkeepers could just be there. So the encouragement again is if they can get beat, they can have a shot at goal, or they can still go for the 1-pointers. And then when the keepers get it, they can feed it into their players if they want to. Again, this would work if it's just one keeper, you can get rid of that. And just one keeper's playing. If you're using it for younger players, so maybe younger than 8, I might actually encourage them to have a go at this activity as well. So they're not just labelled as a goalkeeper. This gives them an opportunity to experience the pressing, closing them down, trying to steal the ball back, and also having opportunities on the ball as well. I see this as we've got our activation game here where they've played without a ball and they're just learning about basing their movement. So the defending side are looking at the attacker, they're waiting for that trigger of them making the move so they can enter the game as well. We've then added a ball where they're now playing either 1v1s or 2v2s. And then beyond that, I then build it up to 3v3s, but we then make it a little bit more like a pitch. So we end up bringing in corners. We may add our goals in if we've got our keepers. And then we add the 3v3 in there. We're working on the same principles of, can you press the player who's got the ball? Are you close enough to do it? Can you force them away from the goal or towards a player? So we end up with 3 in, like that, 3 in like that. And they're just playing little 3v3s. Can we press the player who's got the ball? Can we have that safety just behind us in case we get beat? And then it's basically working on who's in a position to press from there.